Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to take a look at meditation, but maybe in a way you haven't thought about before. It's all based on a really simple, but honestly powerful idea that might just change how you see things. Let's dive in. But first, let me ask you a quick question. Right this very second, where is your mind? Is it right here with me, or is it somewhere else entirely? See, for most of us, most of the time, our minds are basically time traveling. We're either stuck in the past, replaying this collection of memories, which, let's be honest, might not even be that accurate, or we're jumping ahead to the future, just running through a bunch of guesses about what might happen. The thing is, you can't change what's already done, and you can't act on a future that isn't even here yet. And think about it. When something's really bugging you, where does that anxiety live? It's almost always in one of those two places, right? It's cringing about something you said yesterday or stressing about a meeting next week. Our worries, they almost never live in the now. Okay, so that brings us to a really famous, but maybe really misunderstood word. This quote just nails it. We've all heard of meditation, for sure. But what does it even mean? For a lot of people, it brings up these images of having to sit perfectly still for hours or trying to force your mind to go completely blank, which, feels pretty much impossible. Let's clear that up. This is where we get to the good stuff, the real alternative to all that mental time travel. I'm talking about the gift of the present. So if bouncing between the past and the future is where all the stress is, what are we supposed to do instead? Well, the answer is way, way simpler than you might think. First off, let's just get this out of the way. This is not about complex rituals or chanting or needing some special equipment. You don't need to learn anything complicated. Instead, it all comes down to a really simple, but pretty profound, shift in where you put your attention. And here it is. The easiest, most accessible way to meditate is to just connect with what's happening right now. That's it. That's the core idea. There's a reason we call it the present, because being right here, right now, is actually the greatest gift we've got. Okay, so that's the what. But what about the how? How do you actually do it? Well, you're probably going to be surprised to hear you already know how. You've been doing it your whole life. Seriously, have you ever just gotten completely lost watching a beautiful sunset? Or been totally absorbed trying to figure out a puzzle? Or what about just listening to the sound of birds or the ocean? If you've ever done any of these things where you were just completely in it, well, congratulations, you were meditating. So the key here isn't emptying your mind. It's the total opposite. It's about fullness of mind. Your mind is completely full of whatever you're doing. You're not thinking about your to-do list or what happened at work. You are just there, 100% engaged. And just to be super clear, this doesn't mean you never think about the past or plan for the future. Of course not. Those things are important. The trick is to give them their own dedicated time. When it's time to plan, you plan. But you don't let that planning creep in and steal the experience of enjoying your dinner. Now, just connecting with the present moment like this is an amazing practice all on its own. But for anyone who's curious, this can also be the first step on a much deeper, more personal journey. So, for example, the author of our source material talks about their own personal goals with this practice. The first is to realize that the real you isn't the nonstop chatter in your head, but the quiet awareness that's listening to it. And the second, deeper goal is to see if that quiet awareness can connect to something bigger, a greater sense of peace or consciousness. Now, this kind of deeper exploration is obviously super personal, and for anyone who wants to go down that road, the source suggests finding a teacher or maybe a community that really clicks with what you believe, somebody to help guide you. All right, let's wrap this up. What's the big takeaway here? What's the one thing you can put into practice, like today? If you remember one thing from all this, let it be this. Meditation isn't some complicated skill you have to go out and learn. It's an ability you already have. It's just about making the choice to connect with the gift that is right in front of you, this very moment. So I'll just leave you with this question. Whether it's the taste of your coffee this morning, the feeling of the sun on your skin, or a chat with a friend, what gift of the present moment will you choose to fully unwrap today?